Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first match of the day, Round Robin Group A Season 10 Onward Championships. We have a lot of words to say before we can start the stream, and the last one I want to say is Mr. Sleepy. How are you today? Your name is wrong on the stream, but say hi anyway. You are muted, so do not be muted because I need to hear your voice for the entire situation. There you go.
I am, as my name implies, a little sleepy this morning. A bit early, but I am excited for this morning's Onward action. And the first match that we have up front is Boss Fight versus Mayhem, the two teams that I choose to be today's kind of winners in the group. So be interesting to see which one of them seems to be running a bit stronger this morning and or this afternoon, because one of them, of course, is a mainly EU-based team. In Boss Fight, that is. So I am excited to be here. Noman, how are you feeling about this first matchup?
I mean, what's not to love, you know? I mean, you wake up way too early for a Pacific, for a West Coaster. You slam down some coffee, you jam food down your gullet, you set all this stuff up, and the reward, at least I hope, I pray, I know, I've been here before, is amazing Onward action. I mean, once you get into these stages, and not to be disparaging to anything that's come before this, but this is top level play. This is the kind of Onward that when you're a player, you aspire to be a part of. You want to play games in games like this because this is where you have the most fun. This is where something is on the line. You get your heart racing. You get the excitement. It's everything I love about Onward condensed into a very simple format. And I'm very lucky, as are you, in that we don't have to get sweaty. We don't have to sit. We don't have to be crouching and ducking and jiving here. We get to watch it from the sky. We get to bring it to the folks in venues, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, everybody who's tuning in today. We're lucky, and we hope you guys enjoy the kind of show that we're gonna be seeing today. But we've got some stuff to cover really quickly. So let's go through our bans. So the home ban, as we discussed, every team gets a ban in the round robin stages. Let's go through our bans here. So the Mayhem side, who is home, have opted to ban Suburbia. And then the away side, which is your SEAL Team Bravo side, is the Subway. That is the Subway. So, thoughts on those bans? Sleepy, the two subs are gone. No subs in this match. All real players and all real maps all the time. No suburbs, no Subway. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel fine. But what doesn't make me feel fine is that I completely misannounced the first matchup, because it's SEAL Team Bravo, not Boss Fight.
Hey, that's all right. We've got it on the screen, and the screen was correct for once, so I'm happy with that. So okay, look, I'm gonna level with you here. Suburbia for Mayhem kind of makes sense. Has not historically been their strongest map. Subway for SEAL Team Bravo, I guess Mayhem is pretty powerful on Subway. I think it's that North Stair objective, if I had to guess. They are scary on that North Stair objective.
Yeah.
But we keep hearing the sounds of the false starts, and that means I have to announce our first map because they're just gonna beat us to the punch. They want to get started, and I want to get started. And it's freaking Downfall, Sleepy. Gameplay is kicking off on Downfall, round 1 underway. Mayhem versus SEAL Team Bravo here. Oh, it's exciting stuff. Did Mayhem? It looks like Mayhem actually opted for Volk.
They did, yes.
That is what happened. So yeah, they had opted. They were the home team here. They opted for the Volk side anyway. So the first ban was Subway, and then Suburbia was the second choice by Mayhem. But either way, we are into it.
Alright, shit, maybe it's late for me to get that.
SEAL Team Bravo out of the gate, pretty reserved. So far, not a lot of movement out from spawn. Getting themselves just away and out of the sight lines, but stay calm. Gonna get taken down from Monarchid on a long peek over the ridge line over towards the north and south Marsok buildings.
It was a nice long pit. I mean, that is roughly as long as you can get corner to corner. Nice
a
little
patient
peek there.
monarchid is a happy monarchid.
Exactly, and now we've seen SEAL Team Bravo here start to tuck in a little bit, get in behind a little bit of cover, and start to try to get visuals on these Mayhem defenders. But they're pinned down. I mean, this is dangerous for SEAL Team Bravo. Once you've stopped the momentum of a Marsoc team on downfall, it can be really tough to start over again, right? If you're not aware of the location of that defense, it can be so nerve-wracking to try to cross any of these angles.
Yeah, especially from a position like Diesel's here out in the center. Very little coverage from cover to cover. I mean, he's literally running in complete open field between pieces of cover. So he's got to keep those movements short and make sure that he gets safely into that cover, because the second he gets hit and he's injured, he's no longer able to sprint. So he's going to have to either heal himself on the run in order to be able to run again, or he's likely going to be downed and or KIA.
He doesn't know that there's not a lot of people actually watching that angle. Potato Bot, the only one sort of close to having eyes on that position, but even he's focused center hotel right now. He may have been hearing Raz's comms, as Raz was able to push up to center hotel here. He's the closest member of the offense, 2.5 minutes left to the objective at this stage.
Yeah, 2.5 minutes, quite a ways to go real estate wise. I mean, even the guy in the east there, way up in the east, Hondo, has got a ways to go before he gets anywhere close to striking distance. Drunk Drummer definitely taking his time back here, laying prone, making sure he doesn't get caught out in the open. But also with his 12x, I think he's trying to get sight lines on the North Marsoc dark room.
Copy that. Let me move a little bit.
It is a little bit more adjustment from the offense, and there's going to have to be a pretty serious flurry of adjustments as we get down into the final 2 minutes of this first round. Monarchid does eventually find Hondo there in the east, not able to get across that vast expanse in time. That's going to leave 3 members of SEAL Team Bravo to deal with the entire defense. 2 members now as James picks up Drunk Drummer on that push on the west.
Yeah, and you know, you mentioned, or Nightfire mentioned, nobody really getting time to do the research on SEAL Team Bravo due to the lack of cast, but Mayhem saying, you know, we don't really need that research. We've got good coordination, we've got good defensive planning, and it's working out well for them now, as SEAL Team Bravo now just left with their last member, and it's Diesel, who's coincidentally actually walking right through the kind of the only hole in the defense, and if he stays quiet enough, he may be able to sneak by under the radar.
Theta's going to be the problem here. If Theta peeks up over that little, I mean, he's got his head there. He's got the gun up. He spots him out. And there it is. Mayhem will seal the deal on their first defensive round, not losing a single man. But, you know, some will opt to say that the Volk side of Downfall is where the strengths really lie. And so now I'm kind of wondering what this is going to look like when they switch sides. Does Mayhem have a strategy to unseat these very, you know, sort of entrenched defenses, these tight angles? That is the real trick here, but a very solid defense by them to start. And SEAL Team Bravo's got their work cut out for them on Volk in round 2. It looks like somebody from Mayhem has moment. It looks like Wookie there has dropped out temporarily, so we will wait a moment to see if he rejoins the lobby before we... Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, yeah, looking at the map, I mean, SEAL Team Bravo did a good job in their push. I mean, the arc of their kills reflects decent coordination of the team itself. It's just Downfall, like we talked about, is just one of those maps. It's a limits test for you as a Marsoc team, as an attacking team. It's very open. There's limited cover. Granted, they have added some new items to assist with that in recent updates, which have allowed for more attack-based play to be successful. However, as you mentioned, Noman, it is a very defensive-heavy map, and a lot of folks like to play that card when they know Downfall is going to be on the table. And it looks like maybe that's what Mayhem did in order to make sure they get that round win, that map win, for example. But yeah, I mean, still a great play there from SEAL Team Bravo, but they are going to have to step up that pace a little bit if they want to be successful here.
Yeah, so I mean, the way this shakes out, right, is SEAL Team Bravo opted to pick into Downfall, and picking into Downfall in and of itself exudes a level of confidence in your MARSOC abilities, right? It is one of the most challenging MARSOC maps currently in league rotation, and you know, I want to see what that strategy looks like. I want to see SEAL Team Bravo come up with some crazy plays here, because for example, that final Diesel push, had Drunk Drummer not pushed all the way up the west road, right, hadn't gotten picked where he got picked by James, had he applied pressure into the MARSOC towers, kept Theta tucked in, right, Theta was really the only one able to watch that angle, that would have been the play I would have expected to see. And so it's interesting for me to see a team come out on that first MARSOC round and stumble like that. But we have plenty of game to go, and I have got a lot of potential to eat my words. So let's see what SEAL Team Bravo does here on the defense to try to keep things close against this Mayhem squad.
And so far out of the gate, they're going to run 3 right out towards the objective, as kind of to be expected. You know, you want to make sure you have eyes on, especially this objective. Such a sneaky one, as we almost saw there with Drunk Drummer. Or with Diesel there in the last few moments, he could have almost snuck in and gotten the cap right under their noses. Stay Calm's going to try and make it over to Dumpster Building. He's going to take a little bit of suppressive fire from Mayhem and the likes of James Boak and Potato Bot.
That's exactly what they were waiting for. They're kind of hovering around that center area, looking for that cross, trying to prevent the cross to Dumpster, because anybody getting into this Dumpster Building really makes the West Street push extraordinarily challenging. So that is the kind of heads-up play you would expect to see here from these top teams. We'll see how the MARSOC push. I mean, it's looking very similar, right? They've got the same sort of spread, 2-1-2 across the east, center, and west. And they have slowed up in similar positions. So now we're going to see how they break that momentum problem that we saw SEAL Team Bravo run into last round.
Whoa, Stay Calm there, having a little bit of a glitch issue. Trying to make a cross and getting pulled back. Now he's over at the building here on the objective, and he wasn't quite expecting that to happen, of course. But it did put him at risk. Potato Bot going to be able to grab Raz off the back ridge on the south valley. Hondo almost taking some shots there as well, but Drunk Drummer.
Yeah, with the response. There it is. He is downstairs in that little basement. That is a very tough spot to find him in. James Boak and Stay Calm will trade out, but the res is available, and he's in a pretty decent resable spot. All told, Diesel, Drunk Drummer on the objective. Hondo in White Tower on that overwatch position. He's going to have good eyes on that center hotel push. If Modder Kid isn't careful, he's going to run right into the sight lines here. Mono's actually opting for West Street there.
James Boak only down there on the field, still giving his team callouts. So again, always double tap those shots if you've got the angle, because if not, you're just allowing that enemy team that intel, that communication beacon. And of course, they do have the option of being revived, you know, as the alternative, which means you're back to square one.
Drunk Drummer in the perfect spot here to find these center pushes. I don't think anybody, I haven't seen a lot of usage of that little basement, that first floor spot that Drunk Drummer is in inside of that doorway, but a great usage of that to find 2 picks in this round.
I feel like that basement area has been redone a bit. And of course, some cover has been added inside to assist with defensive positioning. So I can see it being a more viable position now than it once was. So Drunk Drummer being able to capitalize on that and seeing that for himself, a great play and a great way to stop Wookie, who I don't know if he realized he was just kind of standing out in the open looking up at a window, but you know, could have just been a mistake in the moment as well. Who knows?
The threat here for SEAL Team Bravo is going to be Theta. He's going to be applying this pressure from what is essentially their spawn, and this is going to force Hondo to sort of give up his view. There's nobody here aside from, you know, if Drunk Drummer decides to peek out into these windows, which I can't imagine he would. There's nobody there to really cover this approach, And Theta kind of aware that he's going to have to deal with Hondo in White Tower there as well. Take a look now. 60 seconds left on the clock. Not a lot of time for this Mayhem team to do that work. And this is exactly what I was talking about. These Marsoc rounds are punishing. You have to be very, very diligent to try to win these out. Mayhem here struggling a little bit. They're looking for the backside of this defense here. Theta pushing up onto Hondo's position. Hondo should be hearing these footsteps any second now.
He's still laser focused on that center hotel.
Speaking of lasers, pop the lasers on here.
Oh boy.
Theta's on the inside, but Hondo does spot him out, catches him right in the back as he rounds the corner towards Diesel's position. And 30 seconds left leaves James Boak dead and Mono, the last Mayhemian alive.
20 seconds.
Now he's pushing up towards the objective, taking shots from Hondo on the hill. He's looking towards the windows, trying to make sure the defenders are not there. He's peeking the wall, but Hondo is going to be able to find the headshot. And SEAL Team Bravo return the favor. We are at 1-1 here on Downfall.
And there it is, eating the crow almost immediately. SEAL Team Bravo sealing the deal with their with a solid defensive round. Drunk Drummer with a pickup of 3, Hondo with 2. An excellent hold on their part. And now we're going to shift objectives, 40 feet to the west. It's going to be the dumpster objective. You can kind of see it there behind your scoreboard. And, the spawns for this is really what makes or breaks this objective. Which spawns are you going to get? Are you going to get the quick spawn on the west street? Are you going to get the quick spawn on the southeast side of the map? Or you get that long north hotel spawn? And each one of those is just so unique. It it instantly switches between a Volk and a Marsoc advantage. It's such an interesting objective. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll be interested to see who remembers to squat for this spawn, because you don't take any risks with this spawn. If you get what they consider to be the quick spawn, you basically are within sight of the objective and of the enemy, and they can see you. And you'll see here on the pre-round, you'll see Mayhem stacking up looking for that quick spawn. They don't see anything, so they're going to be looking for the alternatives, and one of those alternatives will be that northeast, where you can see in the corner SEAL Team Bravo getting their bearings, getting ready to break out of the gate. And as the spawn gate lists, they are off and spread out, more than likely going to keep themselves on that eastern side of the map. But Raz going to take shots early from Potato Bot and go down. But the possibility for the res is still there, though it will require a bit of coordination and possibly a lot of suppression.
Potato Bot looking, trying to get that confirmed if he can. Those shots continue to ring out, but he's not finding any luck there. Diesel stay calm and Hondo here, pushing up this eastern center. Going to be sort of the main pressure for this objective. And interestingly enough, no southeastern coverage by the defense. You take a look at the overhead map here, you'll see the only defender covering that southeast is the White Tower. So leaving it all up to just one person is, kind of. Usually you see a lot of teams try to push that hill, push the eastern side. Plus you get that overwatch ability from that south hill. So to give that up is an interesting choice.
They're playing a little bit tighter, realistically. Is all. James Boak could be. You could argue that his position could be used to help fend the south, and even the southeast with the way that building is configured. So it's not completely open, and having it be Theta who's up there, who, as we both know from not only his informational videos, but from his casting, he's a very informative and patient person. So he's got no problems, seeing someone, radioing it in for now, and then waiting for a better opportunity to strike that person, or possibly even multiple people.
Yeah, this is a very tucked-in defense. They're very, you're really trying to protect against the cap here, and we talk about it in almost every cast, how punishing, how damaging a cap can be for a team, and I think that's what they're worried about here.
Good place to watch.
Yeah, the push is coming up the east, or I should say down the east, as they're moving from north to south. Stay calm and Hondo now almost to the Marsoc Tower. Scanning the hill here, Hondo searching for enemies, but as we pointed out, no one from the defense has pushed out that far, and that may catch Hondo off guard. You can see he looks a bit surprised as he doesn't catch anyone on the ridgeline, and they continue their push forward.
Now, we haven't talked a lot about these new towers in the Downfall realm. These little sniper towers that folks can get into. Now, the windows, I believe, are still not quite in the position that they're intended to be. So a little tall. You got to be a tall boy to look through these windows properly. But these offer a much newer, much higher vantage point than ever before. Drunk Drummer, the nice shot onto Mono there from the West Street. Will down 1 on the objective, leaving just Potato Bot in the dumpster building now to defend.
There's another one, dark room, upper dumpster.
As ID the second one, Potato Bot now called out to the team. Drunk Drummer opting for the rotation here. Wookie's going to have to deal with him. Stay calm and Theta, meanwhile, trading headshots on the other side.
Wow, excellent stuff there. Ooh, Diesel again. Same route as before. Walking right through the middle with the shiniest of brass ones.
Drunk Drummer looking for James on this quick peek. Oh my goodness, James keeps baiting them out. Meanwhile, Wookie deals with the Diesel situation in the center, and that's going to force the SEAL Team Bravo team to try to unseat him from the top of Center Hotel.
Wow, Wookie's call-out's very good. He doesn't know that Drunk is also right out here with Raz, but he does call out Raz and the sniper in the west. Wookie not taking any chances as he goes ahead and pops around to pre-fire those stairs.
I mean, the 40 seconds that are left on this clock really are going to push SEAL Team Bravo to make some interesting choices there as Wookie cleans up Raz on that final push. Drunk Drummer now. He's got Pat out. He's pushing the corner here, and I don't think anybody's going to spot him unless Potato Bot is ready for it. Wookie with a nice shot on the Hondo, but no, he's moving a little too quickly.
This is a cap right here. He moves inside now. He's even more protected, but he's not because Potato Bot looks down from the window. He hears the cross and gets the kill. Mayhem go up 1-2-1 here on Downfall.
And he stayed just a little quieter. I mean, he had the cover of Wookie's gunfire there initially, and as soon as that gunfire went away, Potato Bot was on point in listening for those footsteps and IDing that rush.
I know it goes against every fiber of your being to want to stay outside where he was in cap, but in this particular situation, and of course he cannot know this because he doesn't have the view that we do, that was the place he should have capped because that is where Potato Bot wouldn't have been able to see him. So unfortunate there for SEAL Team Bravo as they are unable to convert, but still a great play, and they managed to do quite well there for only 40 seconds left. That was, as like you were, I was a bit concerned with their ability to get to that objective point again.
Yeah, the amount of cover fire was almost just right, and yeah, like you said, on the outside corner of that wall is such a dangerous spot, and Potato Bot would have been able to most likely rotate out and grab the pick anyway, but still, the attempt was made, and I can't fault him for it, especially when the clock's running down there. You may as well go for the 2 points when you've got a good bit of defense left.
For sure.
So it looks like we
should just go to the 2 points if you have the opportunity to. I mean, honestly. But then again, you're talking to someone who kind of always goes for those cap opportunities.
Right. Absolutely. That is, I mean, they're just so satisfying, right? You know, you punch in that code, you get those 2 points for the team, especially in a championship setting. You've just got to be excited about it. So
the adrenaline rush, I think, is what's more addictive.
Absolutely.
Those cap moments, right?
Oh my goodness, the heart racing, the
hand shaking.
Yeah, I can feel it in, you know, it's something that once you experience it once, you really kind of never forget what it's like to do it. So I can totally see why you may prioritize that sort of play. Looks like we do have some folks missing from the SEAL Team Bravo side. One has returned here, but give them another second or so. Might as well jump to a quick intermission while we wait for the teams to stack back up again. probably a good opportunity to say hi and welcome to everybody in Oculus Venues for joining us. Thank you guys. We've got a ton of Onward coming today. Later today, I mean, basically it's a full day of Onward. Honestly, keep that quest charged between rounds. Plug it in whenever you can during intermissions, because there is literally too much Onward happening today for you guys not to be tuning into it. And we got the same thing coming at you tomorrow, so don't go anywhere. And then, of course, next week we've got our semis and our finals. I do want to give a shout out to our sponsors. You've seen them throughout the deck here, but you know, HyperX, Asterion, VR Cover, Pro2 VR, Rebuff Reality, Fixed Gaming. Oh my goodness, the list is outrageous. There's so many, but thank you so much to those guys for providing our prizing and all of the fantastic stuff that these guys are duking it out for, are going balls to the wall, dare I say, to try to win here. But we are ready to go. Just enough time, right? A perfect call out and perfect timing as we get into the defensive round of round 4. Raz has to tuck in as James
A loud call out.
applies the pressure there. Yeah, he's got the... Hey, listen, the sound carries. It is proximity audio.
Get it out.
To a certain distance. And there it is. James putting a little bit of pressure on Center Hotel. Raz really in a dangerous spot here. James looking to try to get this pick. I mean, he is not going to give up this angle. If I know James, he'll play the patient game until he sees that he can't get the shot. Meanwhile, you've got this push here, Wookiee and Theta, the casting duo from the Mayhem squad, pushing through the south center ravine towards the White Tower.
Not that I could hear.
It's a good distraction play that's kind of happening in the south right now. Because Potato Bot and Monarchid are also able to kind of get pretty good positioning here in the north from the east red truck building. Looking down towards the objective, trying to see if they can spot anyone out in the windows, but from the looks of things in the distance, SEAL Team Bravo are tucked in pretty tightly in their defensive positions here on the objective. They are not going to give up any more points unnecessarily, but Diesel's got to be careful hanging out in this doorway because little does he know Wookiee and Theta are right there on the other side of that ridge line.
Behind us, south hill.
They're dancing a little bit. Diesel does identify that south push and opts to get out of the dangerous doorway. Just a little bit. Wookiee and Theta now identified and in danger. Shots will ring out towards the north, and Drunk Drummer knocking Monarchid out there, leaving just James and Potato in the north. And another round where Marsoc is struggling. I mean, this is, you know, we keep bringing back to it, but it is challenging. With a 5-minute downfall round, you got a lot of ground to cover, not a lot of time to cover it. The defense doesn't have to do a lot of the running. It is a very defensive-heavy map, but currently that favors Mayhem. You know, despite the fact that they are struggling here on Marsoc, they started on defense. And if it just keeps trading Volk rounds, Mayhem's going to take it. So SEAL Team Bravo is going to have to come up with a Marsoc round to try to shift the balance here in the upcoming rounds. But 3 members of Mayhem left here. Wookiee!
Oh, wow. What an excellent 203 shot.
Fantastic little grenade launcher shot into the South Center HQ building, downing Hondo. A little bit of pressure onto Diesel's windows there. He doesn't know exactly where they're tucked in.
Where he is.
Yeah, that's Wookiee with the call out. Not sure where he's supposed to be shooting. Potato Bot does manage to get the res there.
I think Theta spots him. He definitely pummeled the window with suppressive fire, but he does call out that he thinks he got him, so it could be a mistake for them if they go into that building with too much ease. It doesn't look like he's given up on that angle yet, but Wookiee's going to fall back and try and approach from a different side.
James there does find Stay Calm and Center Hotel. Drunk Drummer and Raz, the only 2 on objective, sort of inside of this dark room, but it's about 70 seconds left. Not a lot of time for Mayhem to apply the pressure, especially for that rotation James is opting for around the West trucks. He's going to have to come down West Street at full sprint. Wookie, meanwhile, here being called out by Hondo through the wall as he is just downed.
New tube guy is gonna call out.
Wookie calls Hondo noob tube guy, giving call outs, and delivers the knife for a nice silent confirmation.
Drunk Drummer missing the shots on a potato, but it's only 30 seconds left. The pressure's gonna have to come in from James here. He is the biggest threat right now to this objective. Raz and Drunk Drummer need to be on point as he rounds the corner. It's going to be a question of timing. James spots one, pushes the inside. Is he going to be ready for Raz's spot
Theta
here?
On the other side, Theta gets taken down by Diesel.
15 seconds left. Raz on the pressure, finds James. Diesel getting potato. Wookie's the only one left. 10 seconds left, and Raz finds the kill on the inside and holds on to that defensive round for SEAL Team Bravo. They needed to hold that line. That is exactly what they did. Let's take a look at those final seconds here. A nice pick here by Raz. James not even peeking towards the objective, not prepared for that position, leaving just Wookie there to round the corner right into Raz's loving embrace. And that is going to give them the tying point, and we are just trading blow for blow Volk rounds here, Sleepy. I mean, it is a slugfest, and I cannot imagine that the game on the other channel is not a similar situation.
Yeah, well, that is to be anticipated. I mean, at this stage in the play, this is postseason, this is your championship, these are your top teams. So we should expect nothing less out of these matchups, and so far they are delivering. Now, we are seeing a bit more of the Volk advantage, if you will, here on this map, where our teams are only able to secure defensive rounds at the moment, but we'll have to see. Maybe SEAL Team Bravo has something up their sleeves. We have shifted locations here. We've moved across the map to the other side, to the Volk Tower building. Multiple call-outs, across the league itself. But it's interesting to see. This is an objective that we have seen capped a few times throughout the season and throughout seasons before. So I'll be excited to see what SEAL Team Bravo has. I'll also be excited to see if Mayhem has something, or even has an opportunity to show us their attack on this objective if SEAL Team Bravo is unable to convert an uplink here.
Well, we don't have to wait very long to find out, because Mayhem starting off their defense of this objective right now.
Right now?
I think you heard me, Sleepy. I think you heard me and Mayhem heard me, because they are on their way to setting up their defensive positioning here. SEAL Team Bravo gets that center spawn over the east. Get eyes on early, but Mayhem knows they got to tuck in quick. This is the problem with these Volk defenses, though. You can easily put yourself at a quick disadvantage by being caught rotating, a little too late into the round. You got to get to your spots. You got to get to them quick. And you got to make sure nobody sees you doing it, because that is the hallmark of an effective defense. If they spot the building you're in, that means they know where to focus fire, and you have got to be careful with that. Mayhem, though, doing a good job tucking in. SEAL Team Bravo, though, I like their spread here. They've got the right coverage, got eyes on in every direction. I think this could be the Marsoc round. I'm getting that vibe from the SEAL Team Bravo team right now that they want this Marsoc round.
What's uncomfortable to me right now about the Mayhem defense is their entire defense is off objective. The entire thing. Now, they have pretty much every approach route covered, and they have a doubled up coverage on the actual objective itself on the outside. But if SEAL Team Bravo somehow manages to pull a sweep through the west and taking out Potato Bot, Wookie, and Theta, it could spell an unfortunate end, because they can enter in through the basement of the objective building and get that cap from inside, well protected from James Boak or Monarchid. So I don't anticipate Mayhem would let that many people go down without rotating defense a little bit where they could. However, there is a little bit of a flaw in that.
Drunk Drummer here. I mean, we're laying down right next to him here, looking down the barrel of his gun, more or less.
Of course, my tracking starts.
He's got ID'd Potato Bot in that northwest HQ building, and he's got him dead to rights in that window, peeking every now and again, but he's missed the shots, had a bit of a tracking issue there with the headset that forced him to not take that third shot. But Potato Bot is definitely in danger here. You can see the laser just
dancing over his
just
window.
perfectly placed, waiting for that head to pop up into it. And Potato Bot, I mean, he's going to take one peek, and it'll be his last.
Well, maybe not. Drunk Jumper will start to kind of slowly position himself and out angle. Oh, nope. He's just getting a little bit more elevation. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the advantage there. I don't believe Potato Bot's got that long range scope. So we're going to leave them to their fight. And we'll check in with Stay Calm and Diesel here in the middle, as well as Hondo on the northeast. Now, another thing to note is these teams are playing without smokes. You haven't seen them. They're still temporarily out of the league as they undergo some adjustments, but Downfall, definitely a challenging map when you don't get that smoke coverage, that smoke confusion. And that's, I think, one of the reasons we're seeing such a Volk-sided advantage here. At least the argument can be made that that is one of the reasons we're seeing that. Bot manages to find Drunk Drummer in an interesting turn of events for the person who had the sniper scope trained on them.
Wow.
And the Volk kills are coming in left and right. James finding Diesel there, the last one. That center push absolutely dismantled Raz. Now one of the only ones left, along with Hondo there in the northeast.
Yeah, this will be an interesting to see how they manage to try and coordinate this push here. Drunk Drummer is down, so he will be able to still provide some call-outs, though. His vision's going to be quite limited now that he doesn't have that 12X, and Wookie going to grab Hondo and really limit the options here for Steel Team Bravo as the minute ticks away and we approach 30 seconds left. Raz is close enough to make a play happen here, but he has got a lot to do before that happens.
Got a ton of work to do. He's got 5 people's worth of work to do.
At least 3, but a max 5. He can get the back 3, or he could possibly just somehow do Potato Bot and squeeze in, but it's very unlikely. And the grenade comes out from Wookie. Will it go off in time? It does!
Fantastic.
Wookie grabs the frag onto Raz, and Mayhem grab the advantage on the map.
There it is. They continue to hold on. Wookie with the 7 kills. James with 6. Meanwhile, Drunk Drummer with 5. And there's definitely some points under Hondo and Stay Calm's names, but they've had that mid-round reset, which is why we're not seeing them there. But a good round so far. Let's see if we can take a look at that round-ending frag from Wookie. A nice little toss from the backside of the objective building. Finds its target and gives Mayhem that point. Now it's going to be SEAL Team Bravo. They got to hold on to the Volk, but then it is the all-important Marsoc round. They couldn't get that center push in this time, so I don't know that you can really push through the mid of this map. Like, I'm kind of watching them do this, and it doesn't feel like that is going to be a good approach. There just isn't enough cover from cross to cross for you to be able to make any sort of maneuverable play unless you have some really substantial suppressing fire.
Yeah, it's really going to come down to suppressive fire, and I've been seeing a little bit of a lack of that here today, but to be fair, you're a lot more spread out on Downfall, so suppressive fire can be a bit harder to coordinate correctly because just firing somewhere isn't necessarily suppressing the right thing. You need to make sure that you're suppressing the right areas. Like you can see there, the shots coming out from, I'm not sure, one of the Mayhem members, but they're looking at specific places. They're looking at specific spots. They're not just simply firing in a direction. Now, in certain cases, yeah, you can fan fire and spray out back and forth like your Tony Montana and Scarface, but that's not really effective suppressive fire. You really need to be focused in specific areas, locations that you either know or are places that you might anticipate someone being.
Yeah, I'm looking around now.
James there doing the bulk of the suppressing early on, checking for the windows, looking to see if there's any peekers, but SEAL Team Bravo equally as adept in their defenses on this map, not having a problem tucking in early, getting to their spots, knowing their angles. I mean, that is why they're here. That is why they're in this top 7 play, and neither team giving the other one any leeway whatsoever. Drunk Drummer here is going to be tucked in. I don't know if it's ID'd or if he just happened to find himself a little bit of pressure, but stay calm. Going to find the first pick onto Potato Bot. Just a down. Rez will come out there, and that is going to put Mayhem back to 5. James, Potato, and Mono here at the East Red Truck building. They're kind of pinned. They don't have a lot of options to go. I mean, Hondo and Stay Calm both have eyes on this position to cross. It's going to be up to Wookie and Theta, the casting super team down in the south there, to put a little bit of suppressing fire, draw some eyes away from the upstairs here, but they're not drawing away Stay Calm as he finds James Boak pushing out, and that is the captain out for Mayhem. Yeah. Leaving just 4 with 2 and change minutes left here. I mean, this is what we've been seeing this every round, right? I mean, it's just the Volt gets those 1 or 2 picks, and then the offense has to adjust, and it's just so difficult to adjust on this map. Drunk Drummer there with the shots onto Theta. Long range. Mayhem down to 3.
So what I'm really interested in is how Potato Bot and Monarchid plan to make this attack without any sort of effective coverage. They'd be lucky to make the cross, let alone the actual attack onto the objective here from this positioning. Honestly,
hey, if you're gonna go, I can.
Considering the suspension of the smokes currently, the way that SEAL Team Bravo was approaching was probably more effective. You know, come from the south, you have better coverage to bound between. You also can duck into, you know, the building itself and protect yourself during a cap, whereas you cannot from the approach that they're currently going for. So if Monarchy can get the shot onto Raz...
I think that might have been... Bit of a bug issue there that we have seen in the past with Prone. The gun model there potentially killing Mono. I mean, who knows? Just conjecture from the casters here. But that is going to leave 2 left in the round. Just Potato Bot and Wookie with roughly 60 seconds left to try to put something together. Potato Bot getting into a pretty good position here. This is actually kind of a...
If you could just slow down a little bit. Just stop making a little bit of noise every now and then.
I mean, he's in a decent position. Drunk Drummer, though, IDs him a little too squirrely there by the helicopter bungalow, and that's going to leave just Wookie. We're going to ride along with here in the final moments. He's going to drop the M203 into the window, but not going to actually find its way inside, and that's going to leave him with 35 seconds. And not a lot of options as he has to push into the objective and right into the defense that is tucked in and waiting for him here.
Saw him run in, and there it is. Hondo picks up the headshot onto Wookie. We pick up yet another Volk round, and Mayhem goes into the final round of this first map, round 7. You know, Noman, I wouldn't be surprised if we see round 7 after round 7 after round 7 today until we're finished.
I mean, it is a very almost expected outcome, because you know there is no team that is just going to give up, and especially with a 2-map format. You know what it's like on the 3rd map. You usually see teams deflate or give up, especially if they haven't won the first 2. But here you don't have that. You only have 2 maps. You have to play absolutely 110% the entire time. Does not matter what it is, because more than once we have had the score come down to 1 game, to the last game of the series, to the last match of the series. So it's not over until it's over, and I think a lot of teams really recognize that, and we're going to see that level of effort throughout the day, throughout the weekend, really.
Yeah, this whole weekend is just going to be action-packed with nothing but play like this. I mean, maybe not Downfall, for example. I mean, maybe it'll be smaller maps tomorrow in that group, or even in the later rounds today. But even this one, as slow as you may see it, is actually quite full of action and quite anticipated play here for this postseason. And we're getting into it. It's the final round. It's round 7. Mayhem is on the defense, hoping to just secure a quick and easy defensive win, but we'll have to see.
Now, SEAL Team Bravo, I mean, they've been getting closer and closer, I feel like, throughout this match.
True.
They have been getting into the right positions. They've been getting the picks. We'll see if this is one of them. They're going for a bit more of a direct approach, which I kind of like. I like that center pressure right out the gate onto the objective. Hondo here going to be looking for Wookie in this center hotel, and it's a good possibility he might find him if Wookie gets a little peeky on those front windows. Stay calm as well, looking for these window shots if he can find them. But the Mayhem defense pretty tucked in on objective.
Diesel's still hanging out back here in the spawn. He's now rotating off. I think he's trying to just spot out any possibilities or maybe any late defensive rotations, but so far doesn't seem like he's been able to really gather much intel, maybe a couple of those initial round rotations.
It's trying to find a different angle. Maybe get a pick in here, but really nobody exposed to this this northeastern side. You know, this North Hotel is so dangerous. It's got so many different windows and corridors that you can sort of peek out from on both upstairs and downstairs. It's not something defenders will often challenge.
Still 3 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock. Nothing but rotations and movement here from SEAL Team Bravo so far. They, of course, not want to give away their positioning too early. And as I say that, Hondo going to let shots out towards that center hotel. Or actually, sorry, towards that brothel building behind. Or as it's so called, the brothel building. But no one's going to be there. It's just some defensive check fire, making sure no one's there waiting to ambush them as they cross through these open passages.
If we're taking a look at the positions that are sort of covered, Theta's watching over that southeast area. Mono's got a bit of the northeast, but the aggressive northeast, but the ones coming out from Center Hotel down towards Crater, so they're not going to spot Diesel just yet. Potato watching out towards the west, James watching south, and Wookie's kind of just the pin in the middle. He's going to be the guy who rotates on a dime, right? He can pop out and sort of shoot in any direction as needed. And so the coverage isn't here for Diesel, Stay Calm, and Hondo's push. They're going to be, they're going to be picked up as they approach the objective. Nobody actively watching the way that they're coming in right now, and that is why they're getting this close on this side. It's going to be all reactive coverage from Potato Bot and James to try to pick up these 3 members of MARSOC.
Yeah, Diesel so far doing a great job managing this speed, staying low, making sure not to kind of give himself or any of his other attackers away. Of course, Hondo, having already fired, will have somewhat done that already, but not in this particular approach case. James Boak will find a nice headshot on the Drunk Drummer across the map there in the South Ridge exit. Go ahead and keep firing this for some confirmation. And meanwhile, Diesel gets a free bit of coverage audio that he can use to sneak up on the building.
It's a lot of communication coming out from this Mayhem team, and right now, Hondo's.
They're moving.
There it is. Hondo's footsteps ID'd their Diesel, trying to tell Hondo to slow it down. He was creeping up here, but the shot's coming in. Mono able to react off of that and finds one. The pressure now coming in. Hondo and Stay Calm on both sides of this building. Going to be pinned in by Mono. Hondo peek in the corner, doesn't find love there. Meanwhile, Raz pushing Center Hotel. Going to trade with Wookie here in just a few moments. Stay Calm looking for the outside. Is Mono going to find the pressure? Raz still rotating with Wookie. There it is. He does find Mono.
And then gets traded out with a Wookiee there. Wookiee also going to be able to pick up Raz now. Stay Calm going to be the last member of SEAL Team Bravo as he is pushing his way up towards the objective building. He's got his work cut out for him, though. He's got Theta inside. He's got Wookiee right there in the center hotel, and that is going to be it. Mayhem pick up their 4th point and the first map here in the series of 2.
Was a fantastic series. We went blow for blow. Wookiee, 10 kills. James with 7. Drunk Drummer, 7 on the SEAL Team Bravo side. 3 for Hondo, 2 for Diesel and Raz as well. So a pretty solid showing there. But we went blow for blow in the Volk situation.
Literally.
I mean, really just, well, yeah,
Literally.
one after the other. And Mayhem able to continually hold, it's hard to take anything away from either team there, really, because the defense rules in this current meta on Downfall, right? Less time means faster movement by the offense, means less rotations required by the defense, less smoke coverage. It is a very Volk favored map, and that is a good example of what happens when two teams go at it. I am interested to see what map we're going to see next. Sleepy, any predictions on what the map that we're going to see? And also I want to see them in the chat as well.
I'm not going to make any calls for predictions on the next map because I really couldn't tell. I mean, we know that Subway's been banned and Suburbia have been banned, so those two quite unlikely. Both of these teams are very effective at cargo, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see cargo come out. I also wouldn't be surprised to see a Bazaar come out. I think SEAL Team Bravo may shy away from quarantine after that downfall play. Mayhem does have a strong defense, kind of map, independent. It really doesn't matter. Mayhem has a strong defense for just about every map and every objective, but it looks like with that new lobby and new map, we might be seeing a lobby rehost here. So we'll be getting that back to everybody here in a moment once we find out for ourselves what will be going on with that lobby information.
Yeah. We're going to throw to just a brief intermission while we get set up on this next map, so put your predictions in while you wait, and we'll be back probably before the timer expires, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, ladies and gents, we're back. We had a little lobby shuffle there, but we are back in. We have our map chosen. So if your map to guess was Quarantine, then you get a shiny penny from me next time you see me in real life.
Ooh.
So bank that, keep those up here.
Bring
Because
your loafers, folks.
if you're short a penny for anything, I'll have that for you. Quarantine's going to be our second map for this first round of play. And I'm not going to make you do predictions, Sleepy, but I am going to ask you, are we going to see the same sort of slow, methodical play here? Or do you think they're going to start using these sort of, relatively speaking, newer setups in Quarantine to apply early pressure? We're going to see a shift in gameplay from either of these teams.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say we will see a gameplay. I don't think we'll see a total shift. I don't think every round will just be bang, boom, we're rushing at it, we're going at it full force, guns blazing, no stop to fire, only to reload type of stuff. But we will see some more pacing changes here on this map, because this map, Quarantine, does allow for that. There's more coverage, there's more covered routes, there's more protected routes that you can take. There's better spawns in some cases. So, I mean, we'll have to see exactly how they utilize the change in tempos to affect their team, their opponents. But I'm expecting at least Mayhem to change things up. And right away, we get the quick spawn off for the ambulance objective. So we could be seeing action here very early in the round. James Boak going to be trying to take a look for the early pressure from the defense, but he does see one going upstairs in the South Hospital building.
Tatobot Mono here, the tip of the spear on the approach. Diesel's got a nice little angle out towards the side. I wonder if he was using that doorway or not. He would have been able to see Potato and Mono here applying this pressure, but now the gunfire coming in hot. Call out coming in from Mono about Stay Calm's position as he continues to apply a little bit of pressure there, but he's got one in hospital as the call out, but there are definitely more than one in there as Raz and Diesel tucked in on the inside, making sure they've got full coverage from the outside of these buildings. And this is what we were talking about, these new positions, these new windows, giving a lot of defensive coverage.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised at the pacing at which Mayhem is coming out of that spawn. You have an opportunity to grab a lot of real estate and get into some early positioning here with that spawn, even if you just push out to, say, the center, what used to be burning building there in the center. But they've slowed it up. The only real aggressive push was here into the gas station, and I think that was mostly for intel more than anything. As you can see, not a lot of motion has been going on since then. Potato Bot's gained a little bit of ground, but he's only looking for angles. He's still just trying to find Stay Calm, and now he's let the LMG loose. He's trying to get him out, and Stay Calm's just trying to take a few peek shots.
There's a guy in the far back
Just
corner. I hope
back and forth here with the shots, not finding any love yet. 5 on both sides. 2 minutes have ticked away.
on my screen.
But Mayhem is getting set up. You see them kind of shifting onto our screen there. Wookie and Theta in the far east finally getting set up. I think that is why we saw that pacing difference, is they've been waiting for them to get into position, create that pincer maneuver here that you can see. They got the 2-1-2 with the split.
Press a little bit.
James looks like he's ready with a frag here, and there it is. Frag coming out. Will it make it in the window? No, but really, at least on my side.
Yeah, very close to that window toss. Raz getting the flash out there, thinking that was a little closer than it was. Gets suppressed a little bit for his troubles. Now James finding the cross there. Diesel, though, with the first pick of the day on Quarantine, onto Mono there. The res going to be challenging, but possible. He's covered from Raz right now, but Diesel, he's kind of tucked in on the inside there. He's peeking up.
Nope, this is going to be... Oh, and Diesel looks away just at the wrong moment. Potato Bot manages to pick up Monarch hit, and now things are on. A frag comes out. Will it make it the distance? It does not. Monarch hit able to pull, or Potato Bot able to pull away just in time.
Oh, and this pressure here on the backside. We're going to zoom over to Hondo here, who is not going to expect Wookie on the backside. His laser's trained right on him. He just doesn't see him over the top of this little hill here. I mean, it is literally inches saving Hondo's life, but Hondo is so focused on the pressure coming in from the center, he's not going to spot this out. Meanwhile, James Boak does finally find Raz in that first floor window. That's going to give Mono and Potato a lot of brazen, moxie to try to get into the hospital. And that could be dangerous, because Drunk Drummer and Stay Calm still very much a threat as Stay Calm there showing off. Mono does manage to find that
Theta
pick.
on the push. He gets winged by Drunk Drummer. Now Hondo spots it out, but nobody realizes James Boak has an open path to the objective. Now he's here on it with pad out. He's going for the cap. This looks like a Mayhem win, and there it is, just as fast as we can say it. James Boak has captured the objective, grabbed 2 points for Mayhem, and take a commanding lead here on Quarantine.
That right there is exactly why we saw that pacing slowness in the beginning for Mayhem, right? They needed to get that pressure from two sides. They needed to cause that confusion. It was just enough to get James in towards that objective. We'll take a look at it here on the instant replay. You see Wookie there finding the back of Hondo after he deals with the Theta pressure, but not enough as the rest of the Mayhem offense crashed in, applied that pressure, and James with the quick punch of those 7 numbers in gets Mayhem 2 points here and the first cap of the day, at least on this channel, here in this Mayhem SEAL Team Bravo match. What a series so far.
Yeah, excellent stuff there from the Mayhem team and from James Boak. I mean, that was a lightning fast cap there. And honestly, I'm surprised Theta wasn't taken down a little quicker as he pushed out. I mean, Drunk Drummer had spotted him, and he managed to stay alive there for quite a moment there before Hondo picked him up. But either way, a great play there. And, you know, it was a really solid defense from SEAL Team Bravo. I mean, the only exception being that they really didn't have anyone on that front side to protect from the sneak in through the ambulance. I mean, Raz was their kind of their sole line of defense for that north side of the objective, and that you just cannot have that with ambulance. You need somebody somewhere with a sight line to that corner, because once they get around that corner and tuck in, if they're a fast capper, it's pretty much the end of the route.
Well, it's the start of this round as Mayhem goes to their defensive round here and is definitely thinking, hey, let's get this to a 3-0 lead early, but SEAL Team Bravo wants a cap of their own. I don't think they're going to let this one slide, and they're going to apply
Doubtful.
Every last bit of effort they've got into trying to get in range of that cap. And we'll see who comes out on top here as round 2 gets underway.
We'll see if they happen to utilize any sort of early strategy, any early peak advantage. Diesel going to be the tip of the spear on the push this time. He's looking for any advanced positions, but just like SEAL Team Bravo, Mayhem not taking any sort of chances, with the only exception being they've got James Boak in the position like we talked about, just north of that objective, making sure nobody's just going to sneak in. And Raz going to be able to snag Theta early on with a nice clean headshot, and Mayhem already down to 4.
That's a fantastic headshot. Very long range into the hospital there is going to leave Mayhem with just 4 to go. That dream of starting 3-0 is going down already. Drunk Drummer applying the pressure onto Wookie. Tucks in just in time. Not losing his life. Otherwise, that could have spelled disaster. I mean, that is a lot of people to lose within the first minute if you drop 2. So, good on Wookie for evading those shots.
I like Monarchid's flank that he pulled here. He pushed east off the spawn, went far east, wrapped around through the center, and went through the parking garage to come up into the tank courtyard here. And it's a nice position that, if unchecked, could actually come in behind the offense from the center and push west towards Stay Calm and the gang in the gas station and really lock them down. His only problem is there is a flanker on the SEAL Team Bravo side with Hondo, who's far in the northeast. And he's going to be looking to get some justice of his own.
There's a lot of commitment to this western push. And there comes the gunfire pressure, but James with the quick response. Drunk Drummer going down. That's the long-range shooter right there being out. Mono putting a little bit of pressure on to Stay Calm and Diesel there as well. Looks like Stay Calm receiving the brunt of that fire. Diesel rotating now off of those sounds. Going to try to find Mono in that center courtyard. He's getting that elevated position. The grenade, meanwhile, coming dangerously close to Stay Calm. Almost missed it there. But now he's looking for...
Monarch's going to have to be careful for Hondo. Hondo sneaking up behind him now through the parking garage.
He is...
gas station area.
Shots coming out. Potato Bot does manage to grab Raz in the gas station. That's going to leave a 4v3 for us here. Hondo could find the top of Mono's head, but Mono's tucked in a really tight little spot here waiting for Stay Calm to make a little peek. It's going to make it difficult for Hondo to find it, but he's going to rotate just in time. Hondo's got the advantage here. He's not going to be ready for him, and there it is, Diesel.
Ooh.
Almost. Yeah, I mean, that was as close as it could get. Mono definitely not prepared for that flank by Hondo. A nice little toss there of a frag. Not going to down James. The defense stays 3-3. James looking for Hondo. The pressure comes in, but James wins out in that trade.
Yeah, solid play there from James. Didn't get too excited. Came around the corner firing. And manages to pick up Hondo as he approaches in an aggressive attempt at the objective. Now Diesel, they're looking towards the center, hoping to maybe take a shot, take a peek at James, get a better idea of where he is. Oh, he takes a quick look. He might spot Diesel. He does. James Boak picks up the kill. SEAL Team Bravo now left with just Stay Calm, who's quietly approaching the western side of the hospital warehouse here.
Just shooting the shoot right now.
Potato Bot should have this angle pretty well covered with Wookie backing him up. This should be open and shut here, and it is Mayhem take the round 3-0 on Quarantine as they pull ahead on SEAL Team Bravo.
Yeah, that is exactly what Mayhem wanted, and that was, I mean, the pressure was there from SEAL Team Bravo. The disjointed push, I think, is what set them back there, right? We had Hondo putting the pressure on the objective there nice and early, but Stay Calm wasn't in a position to support him. He couldn't help him with James. There was no suppressing fire coming in, and I think that is what ultimately cost them that round. But a nice offensive setup in the first place, just not quite enough to get them that round win. And now they have got to put as much pressure as they can onto this Mayhem offense and the subsequent rounds as well if they want a chance at getting this second map and going 1-1 in the series.
Yeah, well, luckily for SEAL Team Bravo, we do have one of the more difficult objectives of the map coming up. We have that East HQ objective. It's a well-protected objective. Now, it is a bit more susceptible to attack than it once was with the addition of some new routes and some new coverage across the map. However, it's still very defensive favorable, and SEAL Team Bravo can definitely manage to pull out a round here and keep from getting washed in this particular map of this series. But right now, Mayhem is looking strong. That coordination is looking good, and you know they're no strangers to the postseason. Mayhem, I believe, winning the wild card, if not last season, 2 seasons ago, and have been in postseason just about every season since their inception. So it's a tough team, and SEAL Team Bravo is the newest team. You know, like we said, the dark horse, the underdog for today's event, and that's no fault of their own. They're just new. They're still getting things together. They're still getting synchronized and coordinated, and you can see there's still a little bit of work to go in that front. But overall, they're still an effective team. You know, they didn't get to where they're ranked by not winning games.
Yeah, exactly. They've put up some fantastic numbers against great teams this season, and I am I'm interested to see how the rest of the rounds go, right? Because one of these 3 rounds that these teams are going to play today does not make or break anything just yet. We said it already. It goes down to that last round. It goes down to the last minutes in most cases. And we are now going to take a look at what this round has in store as round 3 kicks off. SEAL Team Bravo on the defense for East HQ. Mayhem getting that northwest spawn.
They're gonna be slow and they're gonna try to get in there. So.
Say this is probably the spawn that Mayhem is going to want for this particular objective. I mean, you want to have some type of control or eyes on that north, or at least a pathing, because you've got to have someone able to clear that north hotel if you want to try and approach from any other angles, because that north hotel proves to be a very effective line of defense for this East HQ with its elevated positions in those upper hotel rooms.
They've got a good spread here. 3-2, a pretty common. They tend to go 3-2 to a 2-1-2 throughout the matches. They split one off of the 3 to find a new angle as to approach from an offside position. But looks like SEAL Team Bravo set up in some pretty good spots. Nothing too off meta. Drunk Drummer, the resident long range man, upstairs. Stay Calm and Raz on objective. Hondo and Diesel in the back, and Monor Kid gonna make the first mistake for Mayhem this round as he, unfortunately, team kills there. And that is a breakdown in communication. That is not knowing where your teammate is going to be. That's a plain and simple.
What's a shame is PotatoBot and James just actually, displayed a good sense of communication with your team. As PotatoBot approached James's position, there was chatter between them. They knew who was coming up on them. They knew, what the plan was from that moment going forward. Like, okay, James is going to be here. You just kind of stay down and watch this. And then that, unfortunately, wasn't passed along to Monarchid. And I'm honestly a little surprised Monarchid grabbed that shot because he is using the magnifier. So I would have anticipated him to be able to distinguish the,
small crack in the wall,
camouflage in this particular case. But, things do happen. Shaders sometimes don't shade. Shaders be shading.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, even on caster cam, it looks like he's wearing a black helmet. So no, it's likely not always through the fault of your own there. PotatoBot looking scavenge a little bit of equipment there from his fallen teammate Mono, now under pressure as he crawls through, but Diesel persistent in the shots will find the pick on Mono. Confirmation comes out.
Oh, and I was just about to say Theta and Wookie now able to push out here in the northeast fairly well. But just as I say that, Theta pushes out and Hondo grabs a pick. Mayhem down to 2. And yeah, it looks like SEAL Team Bravo is going to be wrapping up this first point on the map with a nice little bow on it for themselves. But we still have 2 minutes left in the map, so we'll have to see how it plays out. Wookie definitely aware of the position of the defenders as he stares at the hotel, trying to see if he can spot out a helmet or anything he can pick. But right now, he's got nothing.
It's not going to be an easy cross to make, regardless of whether or not he's got a teammate. But now he knows. He knows that window is covered. It's just Potato and Wookie on the approach. 2 minutes left. 2 members of Mayhem. 5 members of the defense. SEAL Team Bravo putting the foot down, saying that's it. You don't get any more free points off of us.
Yeah, well, I mean, a cap is a really hard wake-up call to get on the very first round of the map. And, that can be really discombobulating. It can really mess up your morale. It can get your team in a slump that's hard to recover from. You really got to pull up hard sometimes on that stick to pull out of that dive. But so far, they've done well. I mean, the rounds since they haven't just been washes. It's not been obvious that they've given up or anything of the sort. Now, Staycom shots on the PotatoBot as he peeks out, but it's not going to matter. Staycom grabs the kill. PotatoBot is resible, but it's unlikely Wookie going to be able to make it to that position without catching fire of his own. Diesel calling out positions now. Wookie looking up in that direction, but again, a tough road ahead of him. Raz going to find those confirmation shots to take PotatoBot out of the equation now. It's all up to Wookie. 50 seconds left on the clock for him as he's here, just meters shy of the objective, but oh, so far away. Diesel now going to pick him up, and that's going to be at SEAL Team Bravo. Pick up their first round very cleanly here on Quarantine.
That is points on the board, and points do matter. We have not, I don't think we've actually called that out, but the amount of score you get and the amount your opponent gets does matter in this series. So keeping the games close has a double effect. Even if you're not going to win, you still need to put the points up because it could affect your ranking in the end. So SEAL Team Bravo getting on the board, got to be happy about that. Now they're going into an offensive round. And, I mean, at this stage, I mean, if this was you, Sleepy, are you thinking cap? I mean, like, are you planning for the cap, or are you just trying to go for kills as a SEAL Team Bravo team?
I mean... I don't know. If you're asking me as me, I'm going for the cap. That's it. Hands down. I'm going for the cap. I mean, that's always my goal as a player, is to go for that cap above all else. The kills happen. I mean, you're going to find defenders as you make your way towards that objective. Sometimes you don't. I mean, sometimes you just find that miracle route that works and you just run right through that defense and you're on the objective and you manage to get a cap in like a sneaky ninja. But, yeah, I mean, I'm always going for the cap when it comes to Marsoc rounds. Yes, getting the kills works, but, I mean, it doesn't hurt to try.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, for me, I would be telling my team, you know, let's just focus on getting the win. Whatever that looks like, If it's a kill win, if it's a cap win, it doesn't matter. I don't want to stick my neck too far out. I don't want to sacrifice players early in a situation where, you know, we're do or die. And so
Sure.
I'm curious to see how, you know, to use the expression, hard in the paint, we're going to see SEAL Team Bravo go here on this offense.
Yeah, it will be interesting. I mean, I'm pretty sure Mayhem, they're going to lock this objective down. There's been a lot of practice on this objective for them, I'm sure. They are not one team to let map changes be a reason why they lose a particular map. So they should be ready for all the various new routes and things, as we saw from them a few, you know, newer non-meta defensive positions on some typical objectives. So I mean, I'll be interested to see. But we see here SEAL Team Bravo, as you mentioned, going hard in the paint here. 4 down the center up top. We'll see if they break down low, but it looks like we've got at least Monarchid down there waiting. Potato Bot in the center building at the tank courtyard. And 2 going to rush into the tunnel, but Monarchid going to grab 1. Hondo going to make it down with his life, but will he be able to pick up Monarchid? It's real dark down there. Very difficult to see those Volk players. The flashbangs, or the flashes coming out from the muzzle of Monarchid's rifle will help the offense be able to locate him. But he's in a tough pickle here. He's going to find another one with Hondo. He's got a 3rd one down there. Will he be able to find Diesel as well? He's going to get a bit aggressive now as he pushes up. The laser's coming across, but Diesel going to get the advantage. And he's going to go down. Monarchid not too happy about it. Diesel thinking he got the confirmation, but he does not. Monarchid giving out a little bit more information here.
He's dead.
Diesel
Potobot,
still not
meanwhile,
getting the confirmation.
Grabbing Drunk Drummer up top, and SEAL Team Bravo dropping like flies here. Diesel ID'd by Potato Bot just by audio, and now it is up to the 2 remaining members of the offense. You've got Raz out by the armored trucks there, where we saw Wookiee last round trying to bring it back, and Diesel and Mono. Mono should be calling out Diesel like just nonstop at this stage.
I think he's trying to pace himself so that way he still gives the info, but Diesel maybe doesn't hear it and leaves him alive longer and can just keep giving the information out. Because, I mean, the more and more you talk, eventually Diesel will be like, oh, that confirmation didn't work. I'm not just hearing a glitch. Because that, yep, see, there it is. Diesel finally goes for the double tap, and James Boak there and ready to get the refrag, and it's down to just 1 member. And that man is all by himself, Raz, one of the founding brothers of SEAL Team Bravo, and the only remaining of those 3 brothers, I should add, here for SEAL Team Bravo. And he's here by himself in the Northeast, and he's got a lot of work cut out for him.
I want to highlight in that instant replay, Mono waited for the last moment. As soon as James pushed down that ramp, he called out to your right at the car. I mean, he saved that call out right for the last moment, and James able to get that kill. They were calling out a nice job to Mono. I did want to highlight that. That's exactly what you were saying. He was waiting to utilize that call out, so he didn't get confirmed again, and it worked out quite nicely for him. But yes, right now, round 1 all sits on the shoulders of Raz. This is the kind of pressure we were talking about early on. This is what you feel when you're in the game. It's all riding on you. You got to try and keep your team alive in the series. He's got 4 members of the defense to try to take out here. I mean, this is as much pressure as you could possibly have, but we have seen crazier things happen. I think last week we saw a 1v3 clutch for a round win happen in one of the matches in the Challenger Cup Group A stage, so anything can happen here. We're gonna ride along with Raz, see how he opts to make this final approach.
He's got a good idea. I mean, from where he's at, he's making the right move to make the approach. He's fairly well protected from Hotel. Eventually, that will be an issue for him too. But his biggest problem in making the cross over to the objective location, which is currently, not really being watched, as in there's nobody directly on that building. He could get in there if he manages to squeak by, but it's just so very unlikely that will happen considering the defensive cross watch. And there it is, Theta looking over at the last moment to see Raz in his prone position, grabs Mayhem the map and the second map win, the series win, with a nice 4-1 lead. So a great series there from both teams. I mean, really just going back and forth the entire time. I mean, obviously downfall, a slugfest to round 7, and there, we still made it up to round 5, or I'm sorry, round 6 before we finally had a winner determined, and a cap off the first round again can be very deflating to a team. So we'll see as the day goes on if SEAL Team Bravo, of course, bounce back from that. But Noman, your thoughts on that series?
I mean, that was fantastic play from both sides. They had very interesting Marsoc strategies that I had not seen. This is exactly what I expect to see in the postseason is Marsoc strategies you don't expect to see. We saw some that were refined. We saw others that definitely need a little bit more work. Overall, I think both teams played the hell out of those rounds. I don't think any of those were gimmies. No one gave up in those. I mean, it's exactly the level of championship play I expect to see. And we're obviously going to be keeping an eye on both of these teams throughout the series. I believe our next series is Mayhem Boss Fight, if I'm not mistaken. But we are, I think, still waiting on a round to wrap. So what we're going to do is we're going to reset here on the casting side. We're going to go check in with the teams as we get set up. So we're going to throw you guys to a relatively brief intermission. And we will be back as soon as we are ready for that next game. So keep an eye on the countdown timer. I'll do my best to make sure it stays updated. If you're in venues, go charge that headset. This is the time. Plug that sucker in and tune back in 10-15 minutes and see if we're back live. Otherwise, stay tuned with us in Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. And thank you guys so far. We've been watching the chat. Thank you for your support. We'll be back in a few minutes.